Welcome everyone, and thank you for attending our parent information meeting and live Q&A for Southeast Middle School Dreams Magnets. Today's meeting will include a short presentation followed by a live Q&A session. Please be sure to sign in before exiting the meeting today. A copy of today's presentation will be sent to you via email at the conclusion of today's meeting, and you will also receive an instructional step-by-step guide on how to submit your online application correctly. So please sign into today's meeting by clicking on the link in the chat box. In the meantime, while everyone's signing in, please enjoy this video for Southeast Dreams Magnet. So welcome again to Southeast Middle School Dreams Magnet. We are excited to have you here today to take a look at today's agenda and to see what we're going to cover in today's live Q&A meeting. Today's agenda is going to cover a few topics. So we're excited to introduce you to a few of our magnet teachers who will be your child's teachers in the 6th grade. We will also take some time to show you why families love our magnet theme and our program offerings. And we'll also give you a brief overview of important dates that you should keep in mind for the magnet application process. And finally, we will hold a live Q&A to take your questions. So we'll begin by introducing you to our wonderful staff. First, I'd like to introduce you to our administrators. Ms. Wanda Sakeda is our principal of Southeast Middle School and Southeast Dreams Magnet. And we have 2 assistant principals, Ms. Galvan, as well as Ms. White-Holloman. Next, I want you to meet our 6th grade teachers. As you know, in middle school, it's different from elementary school in that students do not just have one teacher, but in middle school, students have different teachers for each subject. So please take some time to look at the teachers that will be teaching your child in 6th grade when you enter. The first teacher we'd like to welcome today to our meeting is Ms. Mendoza. She is a science teacher for all of our 6th graders this year. So let's welcome Ms. Mendoza.
Hi everyone, my name is Ms. Mendoza and I teach 6th grade science and 8th grade science at Southeast Dreams Magnet. I'm really excited that you are looking into our program. One of my favorite things about our program is that students get the opportunity to design things and use what they learn in their classes to think about solutions for real life problems. One of my favorite projects that I do with my students is having them come up with a design for a partner in their class to think about their partner's needs and use their skills for design to think about other social problems like increasing accessibility for people with disabilities or helping people survive more extreme climates when we talk about weather and climate and thermal energy in science. I'm really grateful that you guys are looking into our program and I hope to see your students at Southeast Dreams Magnet in the future.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza. Our next teacher who has joined us for our meeting today is Mr. Medina. Mr. Medina teaches 6th grade English as well as the CTE course called PLTW CS Innovators and Makers. Welcome, Mr. Medina.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet all of you, and I thank all of you for looking into our program. My name is Mr. Medina, and I teach 6th grade English and Project Lead the Way. And what I do is try and make sure students really engage in hands-on projects. There's a lot of engineering principles that students learn along the way, a lot of design building challenges and activities where students really become refined in their work. And for English, students really are exposed to a challenging curriculum where they become more proficient and skilled readers and writers and thinkers, and they're well prepared for the future and for high school and college beyond. So I really, really welcome all of you to learn more about our program. Welcome, and it's very nice meeting all of you, and I hope to see all of you in our classrooms next year. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Medina. And our last teacher today is Ms. Torres. She teaches 6th grade history as well as calligraphy. Welcome, Ms. Torres.
Hello and welcome to all possible future families and students. My name is Ms. Torres and I could possibly be your student's history teacher next year. I just want to thank everyone for putting in the time to actually find out more information about our school. So I just wanted to briefly tell you a little bit about the way I teach my class. So my number one goal in teaching history to your students is making sure it's relevant to their lives. A lot of the times my students will ask me, why are we discussing Mesopotamia? Why are we discussing ancient India? Why is this relevant? Exactly. We focus in on that and actually get students involved in the lessons of the past. And then eventually they're going to be placed in the shoes of people who've created their own cities. So your student is going to create their own city at some point with me next year. It's really exciting. It ends up being the favorite project of my students for the entire class. And I'm really excited to meet all of you and your students. I hope to see you again next year, and good luck.
We also have myself and Ms. Ruby here live for the Q&A session. Ms. Ruby is our community representative for Southeast Middle School and Southeast Streams Magnet. She is a wonderful, wonderful parent representative who works very closely with all of our parents. And then also I would like to introduce myself, Ms. E, Magnet Coordinator, and I'm happy to be here with you along with Ms. Ruby to give you this presentation. To start, our magnet program is called Southeast Dreams Magnet. And we are the only middle school in the district that offers a Dreams Magnet program theme. So DREAMS stands for Design, Research, Engineering, Arts, Math, and Science. All of our teachers are trained to teach interdisciplinary project-based learning. So interdisciplinary just means that students get to see all the connections between math, science, English, and history. And project-based learning allows students to not just learn information, but to apply the information to create something that can help their school and their community. So here's an example of a 6th grade curriculum that highlights project-based learning and interdisciplinary learning. Ms. Torres, Mr. Nelson, and Mr. Medina all collaborate on a project every year that is very popular with all the 6th grade students who take their classes. The project that they work on is called Mesopotamia and Civilizations. Do you remember learning about ancient civilizations in school? And which class did you learn this topic in? In most traditional schools, students learn about Mesopotamia in their 6th grade history class. But when they leave their history class, then Mesopotamia is never mentioned again. Research shows that the best way for human beings to learn is by making connections between all the topics that seem unrelated. So how can students see how science, writing, reading, and other subjects also connect to what they're learning in history? In Southeast Streams Magnet, we approach learning as interdisciplinary, which means that students are taught how to make connections between the subjects, which is the best way to learn. So here's an example of how students learn about Mesopotamia in our school. For first period, students will go to Ms. Torres' class, which is history, and that's where they learn about how early humans created systems of economy, of government, transportation, agriculture, and architecture. And once students learn about how early cities were designed, they actually get a chance to work in teams to build and design their own city. So this activity gives students a chance to analyze the mistakes that early humans made in the past and to imagine a never before seen city that incorporates an economy, a government, transportation, and architectural system that they believe will work better. And then students go to their next period, which is with Mr. Medina for their English class. And in English, students are asked to compare and contrast the two different cities to write a comparative essay that it helps to build their skills in using evidence and reasoning to craft an argument for their proposed city design. And students will then go to lunch, and then when they come back, they'll go to Mr. Nelson's social communications class. This class, what students do is they learn how to walk in the shoes of a person who lives in ancient Mesopotamia. So students will learn about the lives of early humans in Mesopotamia and then create a choose your own adventure story for one particular person that they learned about. This could be a farmer, it could be a government official, it could be a slave, a religious leader, or even a business person. And to create their stories, students need to be able to ask themselves, what historical events happened at that time and how did it impact this person? Also, they need to ask themselves, what types of freedoms and choices did this person have based on their status in society? And finally, for the last class of the day, students will actually go back to Mr. Medina's class for his computer science course. And in computer science, students will recreate their new city design virtually using a software called Minecraft for Education. Students will connect everything that they learned in history and English and in social communications to create a virtual city where they can interact live with other characters in the city. This helps them to experience in real time what it's like to communicate with other students to successfully build a city that works for everybody. So you can see that project-based learning and interdisciplinary learning really helps students to go deeper into whatever topic that they are learning about, as opposed to the traditional school model where students only learn about that topic in one class, but never hear about it again in a different class. Let's talk a little bit about the programs and partnerships that we offer. The first program that I'd like to introduce you to that your student can get involved in is a before school club called MESA, which is for students who are interested in learning about mathematics, engineering, science achievements. And we are partnered with USC, where students will go and complete engineering challenges at the college campus in downtown LA. We also have a pathway with Southeast High School's magnet program, where students who take Mr. Medina's CTE class called Computer Science will be qualified automatically to take engineering classes in Southeast High School's magnet program. For students who do not take Mr. Medina's computer science class, they have the opportunity to also take computer science with either Miss Moya or Miss Mayorga Garcia during their middle school time. Ms. Higgins, our 7th grade teacher, teaches AVID, which is for a college and career readiness class. So students who enter 7th grade can apply to be part of the AVID elective, where they will learn about their college choices, their career choices, and also be able to take field trips to college campuses to explore their options. We are also partnered with LA Promise Fund, which helps girls to learn about what it takes to be either the CEO or a business person. We noticed that many business people and CEOs are actually men. And so we want to give girls an opportunity to learn from an early age how to set up their own businesses. We also have an after-school running club called Students Run LA, where our teachers and students train for the LA Marathon, and they run it together in every spring. And we also have a film competition that our theater students enter every year with Ms. Tar. And we've had several students become winners for this contest, and they were able to travel to New York, San Francisco, and different parts of LA to show their short film that they directed. Ms. Tar also has a partnership with Loyola Marymount University. Students that are in the college theater classes come and work with students in Ms. Tar's middle school theater class to show them how to write and direct their own plays. We also have an after-school program called Beyond the Bell, which students can stay after school to learn cooking, dance, cheer, art, and play different sports on teams. And we highly recommend this, especially for students who want to do something extracurricular after school at a safe place. We also have a robotics competition. It's an after-school program for 12 students a year to apply, and if they are accepted, they get to practice and prepare for multiple robotics league competitions throughout the local district. We also just recently are exploring the pathway to biliteracy. So most students take their first world language class, such as French, Spanish, Korean, in high school. However, our middle school magnet program offers it for 7th and 8th grade. So when students are finished with 8th grade, they are challenged to read 10 books in the language of their choice, and then also to write an essay in that language, and then submit it to receive an award for the pathway to biliteracy. And finally, just this month, Mr. Medina's computer science students were awarded a program that is free, which they will be going through in their class. It is in partnership with Amazon's Future Engineer program called Coders. So they will be coding and programming virtual robots through their class in computer science. Let's talk a little bit about the application information. So if you are interested in applying for our magnet program for this fall, the application is open. It opened on October 1st, and it will be closing on November 13th. You can apply by going to apply.leusd.net. We highly encourage that parents are submitting the online application and not the paper application, as the online application is much faster, and it will also give you a confirmation receipt right away after you submit your application. When you are prompted to select a school, please make sure you look for the school that says Southeast MS parentheses design research, etc. This is an example of the timeline that you will be going through for the magnet application process. We will not go over this in detail, but one date that we really need you to keep in mind is the first week of March. You will be receiving a letter. On the letter, you will see that you have either been selected for a magnet program of your choice. It will say the magnet program that you have been selected for, or you will get a waitlist letter in March that says, unfortunately, you did not get a spot in the magnet program, but you are on the waitlist and the school will call you whenever there is a spot that opens. Please make sure that you respond to this letter. If you do not respond, then the magnet program district office will automatically erase your application and give your spot to the next person on the waitlist. So again, please make sure that you respond by the deadline. The deadline is April 9th, 2021. There are a couple ways that you can respond to secure your spot in the magnet program. So once you view your letter the week of March 8th and it says that you have been selected for a magnet program, you can either respond by going online to apply.leusd.net. Please log in with your email, click on messages, and then select your decision to accept or decline the spot. The other way that you can respond is by giving us a call directly to the school. If you would like to speak with someone in English, you can call Miss E, magnet coordinator, which is myself, at 562-354-3440, starting the week after March 8th, 2021. And if you would like to speak with someone in Spanish, then you can call Miss Ruby, our community representative, at 323-568-3144. So we hope this information was helpful for you in helping you to decide to make Southeast Middle School Dreams Magnet your #1 choice on your magnet application. And we will go ahead and begin our live Q&A session right now. We'll take any questions that you have. Please go ahead and post them in the chat, and we will read them out loud and then answer them in both English and Spanish.